I had to go get my brushes because, you know, you need brushes to put makeup on. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are continuing our Back to Basics series that we have going. Today we are going to do a complexion part 2 by focusing on our cheeks. And by that, I kind of wanted to do it by section because I want to go over how to do an easy contour, bronzing type of deal, plus highlighting and blush, and how those three kind of work together in this area on your face. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that has shown me so much support about the Back to Basics. I got so many people during the past couple of weeks asking me about products and asking me about what moisturizer I use and things like that, and it's been really fun to talk to you guys and engage about makeup. I think it's a lot of fun and a break from our day-to-day. So thank you again. And now let's get on to our complexion part 2. So when I'm looking to add more definition and more color back to my face after putting a blank canvas of foundation and concealer on, the first thing I do is go for my bronzer. And that's to add back and emphasize more of those shadows that your face naturally has. The product I've been reaching for is the Rimmel London Natural Bronzer. It's a waterproof bronzing powder. I have shade Sunlight. What I like about this bronzer is that it is matte instead of having shimmer in it like the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. That's another really popular drugstore bronzer. This one doesn't have any glitter or anything like that. It's just a matte powder, which I really like. Another plus is that it has a lot of different shades and finishes. So this one is the matte one. They also have one that has shimmer, and then they have light ones, darker ones. So for people that have different skin complexions, this is a product that might work for you. So when using this powder, the brush that I like to use in order to do that is my Morphe M536 brush. It's like a dome tapered brush. It's fairly dense. I'll link this brush down below, so if you guys want to see the more specifics about it, you can look there. And again, I think what's important here is that you use a brush that is more dense. You don't really want a brush that is fluffy because that's going to kind of spread your product all over the face, but when you're trying to add definition with contour, you want it to be kind of focused and precisely placed on your face, and then we can use a different brush to blend it out later. So you'll see when we go in with our bronzer, I'll follow up with another brush to assist in the blending process. So when taking this powder, I just add it on a little bit on the heavier side, only because I know I'm going to blend it out later. So when I take my brush after I dip it in the product, I want to just make sure I'm holding it with a light hand. Not gonna lie, when I do this, I do make this face. I go like do the fish face. As a side story, I think it's funny because when I was a kid going to dance recitals and my mom doing my makeup, she always made me like make that face whenever she did my blush, and it just makes me think about those times and how that was like my first exposure to makeup. So the purpose of that is that you're trying to find the bottom of your cheekbone, find like that hollow part in your face so that you know where you want to put your contour. You're trying to mimic that hollow in your face so it makes your face look a little bit more sculpted. By taking a powder that is a little bit darker, I would say 2 shades darker than your complexion, then we are going to recreate those shadows and intensify them. So we make the face, and then what you want to do is take the brush, start it from the top of your ear, and then bring it halfway between your ear and the corner of your mouth, and just work the brush back and forth from there. Again, you want to go in with the light hand and just work it like that. All right, so now you can see we have a pretty dark line there, but do not fear. I always like to go in with the same brush that I use to put on my foundation, and that's my Morphe Y6 brush, just a flat kabuki brush like this. And what I do here now is I want to just buff the shade in, not directly in the center, but just the edges. I kind of want to fade those edges in so it's a seamless blend from where I put that bronzing shade. And as always, don't be afraid because you can always add more product, but it's a little bit harder to take product off. All right, so there we go. We got a nice blended, a little slight cheek contour. And from there, I just go in with that same brush, tap it back in. I apply a little bronzer on the edge of my jaw and on the perimeter of my face. Excuse this like light beam here. I'm actually filming in the daylight, so now I have these new issues, but I put a pillow up. Clearly that did not do anything. Okay, we're just gonna ignore this. Okay. All right, so we did our contour. You can see there, when you're looking head on, you can see that my face looks a little bit more like sucked in because we added those shadows. And again, I just want to reinforce that you don't want to bring your contour too forward, because then you're gonna like actually look like you're, and you don't want that. That's not gonna look cute. So again, you're just gonna wanna draw that line from the top of your ear to the middle of that portion here. So you can see that there, and then we blended it over with our kabuki brush. All right, now to add a little bit color back in that is a warmer hue versus just our foundation shade, people like to add in blush. I usually don't go in with blush. I don't know, I feel like I've had a love-hate relationship with blush after so many dance recitals, and you know, sometimes I like to just skip it. I guess I'm slowly healing from those dance recital days. As an homage to the first big brand blush that I ever got, I'm using the MAC blush in shade Gingerly. It looks like this. It's more of like a muted pink, not as peachy, a little bit on the more gray side, which is something that I actually like. So to do this, I have a Morphe E4 blush brush. It just looks like this. Very standard, has that tapered fluffy edge and then a little bit more dense on the bottom. But honestly, you can use any less dense fluffy brush that you might want to use, just to give you comparison of the different brushes I used for bronzing versus the blush. You can see this one was a little bit more dense, tapered, but this one is a lot more fluffy at the end and gives you a little bit more of a less concentrated look. So we're just going to tap in, and we're going to just focus this on the front portion. So, you know, back to like those dolls that have like red dots on their cheeks, that area, but we don't want it to be as red. So we just want to tap it on, and then we can like kind of work it into the skin. So you can see here that now we have a little bit pink onto the skin. It just brings back a little bit warmth and life to your face and adds a little wash of color. So again, we're applying it, going in circles, and then I just like to bring it back so it blends in with the rest of our contour. And again, if you ever feel like you added too much blush, you can always go back in with your foundation brush and just kind of like pat it out to try to blend those harsh lines that you may have added. And now moving on to my favorite part, which is highlight. And this is actually one of the collaborations that made YouTube bloggers, makeup gurus a little bit more reputable, I feel like. It's the Becca collaboration with Jaclyn Hill, and it's their pressed highlighting powder in shade Champagne Pop. You can see I've gotten a good amount of use out of this. And for this, we want to use a very fluffy brush. You want to be able to apply this, but kind of have it like melt into your skin. So today I'm using my Morphe R36. Looks like this. It's a lot fluffier on the edges, not dense at all. So we're just going to tap into here. Make sure that you tap off any clumps or any excess powder that might have gone on, because you don't want it to look a little splotchy. When you're putting this on, you want to start at the temples and move it forward. And when you move it forward, you can start working it in circles to try to blend it more into your face. And again, you just want to follow the tops of your cheek. And again, light hand as always. You're just bringing it back and forth from the temples to the top of your cheeks. And there you have it, guys. So we have finished our cheek contour, our complexion part 2, and back to basics. I hope this video was helpful. I hope I encouraged you to try out more products and get some glow back to your face after adding foundation. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you want to do with the video, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.